Hello, you're listening to Abstract AF. I'm Sneha Jaiswal, and I'm going to give you 6 reasons why you should probably read the comic book series Scott Pilgrim by Bryan Lee O'Malley. So number 1, it's got a great, hilarious plot. From the very first page, Scott Pilgrim is a riot. The titular character is an immature slacker who's dating a high schooler. Shocking, not cool, but soon falls for a mysterious girl named Ramona Flowers. If Scott wants to date her, he has to defeat 7 of her evil exes, and because this guy is such a loser, it's quite funny to see how he fights them. Number 2, the characters are cute. I'd say cute, they're not great, but Bryan gives us a roster of characters that are quirky and quite hilarious, and you would want to see more of them, but unfortunately, Scott hogs most of the limelight. My favorite characters were Kim Pine, who's the drummer of Scott's band, which is called Sex Bomb, and his gay roommate Wallace, who's basically like Scott's foster dad or something because he pays the rent, everything he owns in their apartment is owned by Wallace, and he's always there to clean Scott's mess up. The third reason to read this comic series is the artwork. It's very different from your typical Marvel and DC comic book art. It might not be detailed, but it's doodle-like and childlike, and I'd say childlike because the story itself is so immature and unrealistic that the artwork just goes fantastically with the entertaining story. Reason number 4, the humor. The entire series is quite funny. It's filled with puns and jokes and pop culture references, and the conversations between Scott and his friends are just hilarious. It's like they're talking to a child. He's just so lost for a protagonist that you cannot help but chuckle at his antics. The 5th reason, and probably the most important, the fight scenes. The fight scenes are video game-like. Each volume has Scott fighting a different evil ex, and they all have their unique powers and bizarre fighting styles, and obviously they also come up with their own hang-ups. So watching them take on a clueless Scott is quite entertaining. Plus, after each fight, just like a video game, the winner earns experience points and special powers. And the 6th and final reason to read this comic book series is the fact that it's just pure time pass. You wouldn't know how time flies when you're reading this. It is not serious. It has a lot of things that might be problematic, but you should understand that it's a comic book world and it's pure entertainment. And Scott is the kind of protagonist who's such a loser, he's so lost that it makes you feel better about yourself. You know, when you're reading these other comic books like Batman and Superman, they make you feel a little less adequate about yourself. You feel like, oh, I wish I was as dashing or as rich or as powerful. But while you're reading Scott, a lot of things are relatable, and even if it's not relatable, it will make most readers feel better about their own lives. Although Scott has some amazing friends who are always there for him. So the friendships are really sweet, and that's why you should read Scott Pilgrim by Bryan Lee O'Malley. That's all from me. Talk to you the next time.